Hi! I did a video last week about stretching out for people that were doing a lot of sitting in front of a computer screen at the moment, and I thought that I could maybe give you a version that is the sitting version, and it's going to be sort of 5 or 6 minutes long. Ideally, I think your bodies would prefer it if you did stand up and give them a bit of a stretch. But if you don't have time to do that, if that's just not an option, then these are some stretches that you can do while you're waiting for your next Zoom call to appear on your screen. Okay, so here we go. So one of the things that happens when we sit is that we can end up getting a bit tense and shrugging our shoulders up towards our ears. So we need to become just aware of that, because otherwise these muscles, the upper trapezius, can get really tight and tense. That can affect our breathing, make us breathe quite high up rather than breathing all the way down into our bellies. And this tightness here can lead to headaches, it can lead to neck pain. So we're going to start with a stretch for that. So there's a few ways you can do this, but the way we're going to do today is taking your left hand, pop it behind your back. So this is anchored down. This ear is now coming to this shoulder. So I'm using the weight of my head to stretch through the side of my neck. This is the upper traps. It goes all the way from attached to the base of the skull, comes down onto the shoulder, and it goes lower as well. So if you can't feel this stretch, take your hand. We're going to do a little bit of overpressure. So all we're doing is just resting our hand on the sides of our head, and it should just increase that stretch a little bit. Don't do this if you've got any neck pain. Do it without the hand. We're going to move the stretch so it's slightly behind. This muscle sort of fans out a bit. So we're going to look at our knee now, and you'll feel the stretch sort of change position. So I don't want you to get any tingling in the hand or the arm when you're doing this. Just breathing into the stretch. And releasing off. We need to be nice and gentle with our neck. And we're going to just come to looking down, and then coming all the way up. We're going to do the same on the other side. So this hand comes behind the back. This is our anchor. It's sitting all the way down. We're taking the hand, if we want to, and just resting it on the side of the head. So we're getting this lovely stretch down the side here. And breathing into the stretch. And then we're going to look at our knee, maybe keep that pressure on. I'm sort of pulling up and over just to get a bit of a stretch, more around the back of the neck. Then I'm going to release. I'm just going to do a few little semicircles, let my head come up. And then I'm going to do some shoulder rolls. So we're coming all the way up, allowing the shoulder blades to sink down. So this is really nice just to tune into where you're naturally placing your shoulders, because without realizing it, we can end up putting them up towards our ears, which isn't helpful. So when they're all the way down and they're slightly squeezing together and the chest is open, that's ideally where we want them to be. Lovely. Now make sure you've got some distance in front of you. So you might need to move your chair back if you're sitting in front of your computer screen. And we're going to float the arms to here. And we're just going to allow the arms to open. And imagine our heart coming up towards the sky. And bring the arms back in again. And again, opening. And back in. Last one, opening. Back in. Sometimes shoulders don't like this. If your shoulder doesn't like it, you can come down into a sort of lower sort of fan, and back in, and once more. And back in. Lovely. Good. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to release the jaw. So some of the things that we do when we get a bit anxious or we get a bit stressed is that we can start to grind our teeth and we hold the tension in our jaw. This is quite a typical thing to do. So we're going to find the masseter muscle. And so we've got our sort of jawbone up here. We've got our lower jaw here. So So what you want to do, if you get 2 fingers in there, I'm just going to show you from the side, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to open and close my mouth. You might hear it clicking. You should feel that you're on something that's sort of bulging out slightly. So that's the muscle. And all we're going to do it on both sides. You can open and close your mouth a bit like a fish. And we're massaging. And I just invite you to explore closing your eyes, seeing what feels nice. We're just massaging the jaw, trying to release any tension in there. It's really nice for us to sort of feel where we're holding our tightness and our tension. Great. Lovely. And from there, we're just going to do a little bit of opening with the forehead. Just easing out any tension. Running our fingers over the eyebrows. Being nice and gentle and soft with ourselves. And let's just to give ourselves a little bit of a head massage while we're at it. Releasing any tension that's come into the scalp. So we got fingertip pressure. And we're just massaging through our head. So again, when we get tension, when we do a lot of sitting, maybe when we're not used to it and our posture isn't great, we can sort of just hold everything really tightly up here, and it can lead to having headaches. Your eyes can feel a bit sore. So this is all about giving ourselves a little bit of self-love. Just make sure that you sort your hair out before your next Zoom call. Lovely. And then we finish just stroking down the head, stroking down the shoulders, opening through the heart, rolling the shoulders back. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. And exhaling. Hope that's been useful. It's really useful for me. But do let me know how you get on anyway. Lots of love. Have a lovely week.